Hello everybody and welcome to my vlog. Right, so if there's a bit of a hum in the background, it's because I've got the fan on, and I've got the fan on because it's exceedingly hot here. The summer has arrived, finally, after months of rain and dinge. It is nice and bright and warm, so that's great. I've just been learning that following the completion of the environmental review for SpaceX, Blue Origin are suing the FAA, or they're basically, what they're trying to do is limit how much Starship can fly because of its environmental impact and all the rest of it, which of course goes completely contrary to the whole purpose. And I suspect it's probably driven by the fact that following the fairly successful fourth flight of Starship Super Heavy, I think they're probably worrying that in 6 months or a year, probably before Blue Glenn even flies ever for the first time, Starship will actually be fairly rapidly reusable, and at that point it'll be game over and all of the money they've sunk into New Glenn will be mostly a waste. I mean, not completely a waste, but mostly. Anyway, it kind of annoys me a bit. Why can't they just concentrate on making rockets? You know, if they took their lawyers and fired them and employed that number of engineers, then they probably would have a rocket that worked by now. Just saying. Anyway, not going to talk about space anymore today. That was just something that was on my mind from earlier. So on the EV front, my 12-volt battery needs replacing. Again, I can't really complain because I've had the car for 10 years now and it's done 177,000 miles. Anyway, it's not the cheapest thing in the world, getting the 12-volt battery replaced, but it's got to be done. Apart from anything, the car won't update until it is done. Not that that's a massive problem because my car being pre-autopilot, I mean, its updates are kind of, I think they're basically just incrementing the version number, and that is why they've got an entire update going out. I can't think what else is going on with it. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say for starters. I'm going to see Jasper is having his very last swimming gala at his school this afternoon, so that's going to be taking up most of the rest of the day. And interspersed with that, I will try and include a bit more of whatever news has been sticking in my head recently. And I think it's principally going to be to do with renewable energy. In particular around the fact that in Spain they've got too much, apparently. Although I'm not sure you can ever really have too much. You just have to be careful with what you do with it and how you store it if you do have lots of renewable energy. Otherwise you can end up in that situation where power becomes almost a sort of a negative thing where you have to pay to put it on the grid, which always seemed a bit weird to me. Anyway, more on that later, because I've got to get going in about, what have we got? 5 minutes. And we're ready to go. Got a slow puncture, very annoying. We made it. It's boiling. The tyre's pumped up. It seems to go down every like 2 weeks, but it's done it twice now, so there must be a slow puncture there. So I'm going to try and get Quick Fit to fix it. Oh, the joys of driving, eh? Anyway, I'll probably see you when we get home. Tesla service should be here any second now. They're going to sort out that battery and then that annoying warning message will go away on my car. Yay! So let's go find out what the deal is with that. Well, this is a classic Tesla, this one. Yeah, so it really rather seems like we're going down the multi-day vlog post route again. So it's fine. Right, we'll see how the guy's getting on in a bit, but it's amazing how tricky it is to actually access the 12-volt battery in the old Teslas. Apparently the newer ones it's easier. This is actually the second 12-volt battery that it's had. You know, the second replacement, I should say. The first one happened quite soon. So back in the early days, I don't know if some of you may remember, but I think the 12-volt batteries actually were sort of a little bit, I don't think they were the best quality to begin with. So what tended to happen was they'd fail early. So that is more or less what happened to me. It only lasted about 3 years, and this one has lasted 7. So hopefully the replacement will also last 7 years, in which case I probably won't need to worry about it. I mean, you know. Amazing. Thank you. That was awesome. Actually, the Tesla engineer was really helpful, and I thought it was going to cost like 300 quid, which I thought was quite a lot for a battery, but you know, at least they know how to take the thing to bits, which is always helpful. But as it turns out, he didn't include the diagnosis cost because it was kind of fairly obvious what the problem was. So that saved me £100. So it was £200, which is, you know, reasonable for a new 12-volt battery. It's quite surprisingly awkward to get to. I think this is one of those sort of early Tesla things where they're not quite, you know, they're still, how do I put it? They finessed the design so that it was easier to access the 12-volt battery. And honestly, they've done that with a lot of things. Like my door handle, I think the wires are wearing out a bit in the driver's side. So you have to pull it and then you have to wait a second or two before it actually opens. Whereas it should just open straight away, of course. And I mean, that's going to cost 500 quid if I have to get that sorted. But hopefully, touch wood, it'll hang on for a little while longer. But yeah, I was really happy with the service experience. He gave me a ring before he turned up. They updated approximately when that time would be on the app, you know, a few days before, and it was at that time. Yeah, generally speaking, really great experience from a service point of view. And the car has now got a new 12-volt battery and the warning is cleared. Kind of does, I find it a bit sort of annoying that it pops up with this warning saying schedule a service appointment to replace the 12-volt battery, but there's no way to clear that warning from the dash right in front of you as you drive. And even when you schedule a service, which is I think how it should work, once you schedule the service, the warning should disappear, you know, unless you cancel the service or something like that. I mean, I don't see why they can't sort of link that up, but I guess it's just a kind of a minor thing that not really worth their attention at the moment. I have had a bit of a chat with the engineer about the joys of Starlink as well, which, because this house has actually got 2 Starlinks going at the moment, because it's me and my brother, and we both do things that require the uploading of large volumes of information, and you know, good quality internet is necessary, and the broadband here is not so good. I mean, they've been putting fibre in the road for ages, and this is the nice thing about Starlink, because the infrastructure is in space and global in space, because, you know, orbital mechanics. What that means is that you don't have to wait for them to put in infrastructure in the same way. Like they've laid fibre down the road. It's supposed to be fibre to the property, and I know some properties in the village have got that now, but we haven't, and there's no sign of it happening in the near future. And even then, like the village shop, they had fibre, and then it just stopped working for like 3 days, and they had no access to, they couldn't take card payments because of the lack of internet. So yeah, I do. I'm a big fan of Starlink, a big fan of Tesla, a big fan of SpaceX. You know, I'm not an Elon fanboy though. Honest, I'm not. Anyway, I think that's everything I want to talk about today. I'm going to try and put out videos much more regularly, and they might be a bit unstructured and a bit just sort of vloggy, because, you know, it's just something to do, like a bit of a hobby. And over the sort of next few vlog posts, I probably will let you guys know what I've been working on recently, and you know, you might find that interesting, because why not? Right, well, if you want to support the channel, probably the best way at the moment is to use the Octopus Referral link that's in the description to move your energy over to Octopus, who also have great customer service, in my opinion. And I like their app very much, and, you know, it's great, especially if you have EVs or solar panels or batteries. They've got quite a few tariffs which help you to maximise the benefit you get from that. So yeah, yay Octopus, referral link in the description, and that way we can share a £100 referral fee between us, which would be great. And the other thing, of course, is I want to say a massive thank you to my Patreon supporters, who are awesome. And if you want, you can follow me on Instagram and X. The link's in the description. I really should start trying to post more on those, actually. Anyway, so subject for another day. I hope you've enjoyed today's post. If you have, remember to leave a like and share it. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye.